Hello and welcome to round 2 of the Project Cars 2 IndyCar Championship. Today is at Daytona International Speedway, at the famous tri-oval usually held in the IndyCar and NASCAR 500 races. As you see here, we've already been to Long Beach, the complete opposite of the Daytona tri-oval. It's the first oval of the calendar, so something a bit different for the drivers to try and get used to. After that, head to Indy GP, so something different again, and then the second oval, the Indy 50. So two very famous ovals to overcome, and then a load of normal circuits of Sonoma, Laguna, Circuit of the Americas, and Watkins Glen GP. So plenty of excitement to come up. Then the format, 10-minute qualifying, and then for the ovals, it's a 25-lap race, so not the longest of races on the ovals, but should be plenty of action for us to have a look at. But the main thing is accelerated tyre wear, so that should be pretty interesting on whether people have to pit. Driver stand-ins after the first round: Scuderia Sam, 5 points from Alex CDL. So it's pretty much the running order of the first race, with Roger 3rd, Zabrose 4th, D-Man 5th, Stewart 6th, Alex 7th, Twingo 8th, Stalker 9th, Loopy 10th, Free Gazelle 11th, and McEvs 12th. So that's all to play for. Probably all to completely different come the end of this. In the teams, it's pretty close again. But Scuderia Man in first is on 60 points. Team Spin and Alex Brown only 1 point different third for second. Crazy Broser 4th, McTassic 5th, and Loopy Gazelle in 6th with 18 points. So that could all change as well, as everything's closed after the first round. And now over to the qualifying.
Yep, it was tight qualifying as always, as we tend to find on the ovals, with the top 7 covered by 0.2 of a second, so very tight indeed. And Twingo Tastic at the top there, getting his first pole in the championship and indeed the league, so congratulations to him as we look to get set at the ovals today, with Stocker Brown not far behind in second, and BTC Sedan making a guest entry in the ovals today, so we'll see how that goes. And Friesel, Loopy and Roger rounding out the top 10.
Thank you, Ian, and away we go. The man waves the green flag for the start of the race. 3 corners on the track. It's not quite an oval, it's called tri-oval, and Twingo Tastic gets a great rolling start, and he keeps his lead from pole, followed by Stalker Brown, followed by BTC Sedan, and then Oxlong. Everyone really close to it, trying to get that slipstream, trying to get behind someone that they can work with, and you see it's already forming up. Clean first corner, going into the second corner. Stalker Brown takes a lead from Twingo. Oxlong into the barrier. He's been hit at the back, and that's 3 cars out. That's a massive crash on the first lap. So it's all kicking off already. A few cars escaping nicely. Looks like Zabrose had just avoided it, hitting a wing up the way. And carnage on the first lap already, but looks like there's a couple of cars starting to team up or get into little packs. You see there's the front 3 already, but they're bunching up, and now it's going to be a massive pack of 7. What do you think of that first lap being that massive crash? They're already colliding again.
Yeah, it was a massive crash with Oxlong sending Alex CDL skyward, as we see. That's another, that's BTC Sedan in the background, just getting out of shape, and now he's resetting again. But he's from 3rd on the grid to 10th. Won't be too happy with that. But there's plenty of time to recover with it when it can all kick off. So we're just looking at Stalker Brown and Twingo at the front here, with Friegzel getting in the action, and Roger Dodger not far behind. So there's a wee breakaway pack of 4 at the front here, but need to watch themselves as they're getting very tight into these opening corners and a bit low on some things. So just need to watch themselves, and a bit of aggressive. We're getting quite aggressive here, so need to watch themselves. But it's certainly a wee breakaway pack here from them already.
Yeah, it's only lap 3 and going into 4, and they're already banging wheels. There's no love lost between them, and Free Gazelle getting an excellent start. He loves the ovals, he always goes well. He was close to winning the last oval that was held in the group, but he's just pipped by D-Man, but I don't think he's racing right. And you can see Roger, who also had a fantastic start, 10th up to 3rd now in the slipstream of Friegezel looking to try and stick with them, and them two going side by side like that won't help. And you can see in the mirrors now, Twingo looking left, looking right. Oh, he almost collected the back, and they don't know where to go. They'll have to try and communicate, but it's hard. And side by side. Oh, and that looks like Twingo. Massive crash up in the end. There's someone else in the background. The two blue cars are over and over. Big crash. So 4 down to 3 now. It looks like he might have just spun out, and the weird Project Cars physics just took him away. That's really unfortunate for Twingo, as he had an amazing qualifying. Looking back at Loopy now next to Scuderia Sam. Scuderia Sam does not like ovals, so it's quite surprising to see him up in 4th place with Loopy just on his inside. But really interesting the pack at the moment, where everyone is and how they go try and work together, especially these front 3.
Yeah, definitely these front 3 at the just making the breakaway. You're seeing maybe Scuderia Sam, Loopy G and Stuart Davis just working together a bit here, trying not to get in each other's way and just like try and reel these in, but there is a bit of a breakaway for him. And just now as we see it's Stalker Brown just trying to get himself back in the lead, and Friegezel, so they're all kind of racing for themselves at the moment, but they've got themselves a bit of a good lead here, but there's still an opportunity with the remaining pack just to reel them in a bit. But yeah, definitely it's all to play for at the front here just now, but just need to watch themselves to see BTC Sedan and Oxlon bouncing away in the background.
Yeah, whether that's internet connections, but they working together quite well. I think that's the way to go on is Mike Oxlon right up BTC Sedan's chuff. They're really working together. As you see, Stalker Brown around the outside talking not working together. These 3 certainly are, like you said, they're all for themselves, and that may prove costly coming towards the end, as any of the cars at the back who work with each other, giving each other slipstream, giving each other space, may be able to catch up. Scuderia Sam and Loopy McGee, perfect example. Looks like they're slowly catching, just swapping places, giving each other slipstream. It's working pretty well. As Stalker Brown and Friegezel just going side by side like a parade, and it looks like Roger's trying to join them. Friegezel trying to block his entrance, which, if it was proper racing on an oval, that'd be a big no-no, as you're not meant to be swerving. As we see Friegezel taking the lead again, Stalker Brown on the inside, he'll go ahead. It looks like they're sort of working together now, giving each other the lead just to take that slipstream. Yeah, it looks like they're sort of working. You never know, they're going so fast. It's 240 miles an hour in that slipstream, so the slightest mistake and it's a big crash, and it's all pretty nervy stuff at the moment as we head on to lap 10.
Yeah, it sure is, although they're settling down a bit at the front and just seem to be getting into a bit of a rhythm, which is what they need to stay ahead, because they've got a 3.5 second lead at the moment, but that could all go depending on how they can go behind them, but they are getting a bit of a rhythm going, so they seem to be just kind of maintaining that lead at the moment, so not trying to do anything too risky at the moment, just trying to maintain that lead and keep themselves ahead, as they are and that's them starting to increase the gap again. So if they can keep doing that, give themselves a bit more of a gap, it's in their own interest sort of long term. But the closing pack are kind of they're still within sight there. So it's and there we see what can happen. It's Friegezel getting slammed into the wall there, but he seems to be kept pointing in the right direction and is underway, and he's still within sort of slipstream range of Stalker Brown. But that will open opportunity for these guys coming behind Scuderia Sam and Loopy McGee. Yeah, that was 3 into 1. Really doesn't fit, and like I said, Scuderia Sam and Loopy McGee going around the outside. I think in the background I saw someone spinning into the pit. So whether that was Stalker Brown. Where is he on there? Yeah, Stalker Brown to 7th, falling down, so I think he's gone into the pits. Whether it was voluntary or not, it's hard to say. It's Subrosa now, 6th place on his own, so it might be a bit boring from him. And the same with this Alex CDL now. Alex CDL working with McEv, so they'll probably try and team up, get forward, catch Subrosa, hopefully with Subrosa, and that brings them forward. But one thing we haven't really talked about is the possibility of changing for fuel, as I don't think they can make it all the way, even if it is 25
5 laps for the ovals. I think they may have to put a little bit of fuel in.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I suppose it depends on the run, and if you how much traffic you've got, and if you're getting a bit of a tow. So we'll see how that develops. But definitely looks like a bit of the guys in the back just trying to work together, get themselves back into the race. So see Stocker Brown back on track, just clipping the wall a bit and just trying to get back underway. But it looks like him and Loopy have an opportunity now to work together, just to kind of build back some of that momentum as they seem to be doing. So interesting strategy of Stocker Brown from having the big lead early, going pitting early, and we'll see how that plays out with the other two in front staying out.
Yeah, he's not actually. Oh, big touch there. That's Freegas into the barriers. Again, he's lost his front wing. Luckily, it's just visual damage, but it's all in the wars for him, and he's down to 3rd place. It's still not too bad. It's, Loopy McGee is still further back and forth, but he'll probably have lost that total to Scuderia Sam now, who is in 2nd place, and the flagman's still waving away. I wonder if he'll get tired at any point. But like I said, with Stalker Brown, he's pitted early, so he's lost a lap. He's actually been lapped by the front 4, but he's working with Loopy McGee, so in theory it could work very nicely. So we see Scuderia Sam looking on the inside of Roger. Will Roger let him past? Yeah, lets him. Oh no, the side by side. You think he'd let him pass? Just swoop down. Yeah, he's getting the slipstream, so he'll get the advantage of that. So working together, somewhat reluctantly, you'll have to say, as they are in different teams. Looks like no one's next to their teammates at the moment, so it's sort of involuntary working together, try and get the lead to the last lap until they can screw him over. But really interesting at the moment, just seeing the partners, and the only partnership going on is the 2 special guests in Mike and BCC Dan, who are Team Crash usually as they go through, and both have been involved in a couple of big crashes. They're living up to the name at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. As we saw BTC Dan earlier in first lap. So but they've calmed down a bit now and just trying to work on the way back into it, as we see Roger and Sam going around again, just getting a bit of a rhythm going, and Free Gazelle and Free Gazelle and his teammate together. So they're finally together. But it's then Stalker Brown as well, just a bit of a 3-way battle going on. But of course, Stalker Brown's had that pit, whereas the others are still to come in.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see where Stalker Brown comes out in relation to where these guys come out for their pit stop, as we see the 2 leaders now 0.1 of a second, as we see Loopy McGee going into the pits. Is he? Yeah, that's Freegas very fast in the pit. You have to be careful not to get disqualified, so he's very lucky if he hasn't. Doesn't look like it, so usually that just throws you straight to the back, so you have to say he's probably pushing it a bit closer, but every second counts, and that includes coming into the pit lane, and looks like Loopy's, his teammates followed him as well, which is pretty smart team planning there, as they can get out and use the slipstream straight away. But let's see where they come out to stop Ryan. He's the only one pitted, as we see the 2 blue cars going through. That's I think that's Twingo and Alex. So those 2 working together, and it is quite interesting seeing all the cars in their own little sort of battles. As the leaders coming through now. Yeah, they've lost. So that is Free Gazelle losing a lap down, but obviously you'll get it back later, and it just shows how tricky it is to work out your pit strategy, where to come out, who to work with, and it looks like Free Gazelle's just abandoned his teammate there, which isn't going to help him at all.
Yeah, it looks like Loopy's come out alongside Stalker Brown again, so that's them kind of side by side. They were Loopy was all up ahead before, but they're now sort of neck and neck as we look at a wee battle between Roger and Sam and BTC Dan and Oxlong again up in front. So they're obviously still to pit in, but they've got themselves back into contention here potentially. So just need to time it right. Just look in the background with Scooter Sam and Roger getting quite close again.
Yeah, hopefully they don't get too close and tap, but it's becoming a bit nervy as they've caught essentially the back markers using the infield. And are they pitting? Oh no, they come very close, and that's Roger straight into the pit, and he's hit Sam off, and Sam can't get into the pit, so that's going to cost him hugely. And did he hit another car there? Just missed it. Hopefully when we go to the next camera, and yeah, it looks like he's just caught Freaks, and that's causing more cars to crash. It looked like Loopy and Stalker Brown, so a massive four-way car crash, all starting from just trying to get into the pit lane.
Yeah, pretty much. It looked like Scooter Sam, they were just trying to get in the pit, and Roger's coming in at the same time, and then along comes Stalker Brown and Loopy McGee, and Stalker Brown's just trying to get out of the way with the stationary car and track, and unfortunately he's just got Loopy on the inside, and they both kind of spun out. But it looks like Stalker Brown's come off the best of that. He's still up in 7th, whereas Loopy McGee's dropped down to 10th, and Scooter Sam's still showing us in the lead, but he is by the time he gets his pit stop, it won't be looking quite as rosy for him as he comes in. So that's just been chaos for everyone involved there. I don't think there's been any real benefits out of it. It's just one of those things when the cars come together, and just an unfortunate incident coming into the pits. Yeah,
really for everything out at the moment, especially with Roger sort of having a normal pit, it'll probably slow down a bit more, but it's really going to affect. It looks like Mike. Had he spun then, or he come into the pits? It's hard to tell then, because it looks at an odd angle, and to see BTC Sedan into the pits now, a long pit. So I'm just wondering if he's retired or not.
It looks like maybe that's Oxlong in the foreground getting underway again, but it looks like BTC Sedan. There's not much movement around here as we're on board with Stalker Brown, who's now 1.6 seconds within the lead with Free Gazelle out in front, and Stuart Davis, who's been quietly getting along in the background, has got himself into 3rd place and in contention here. So that's just keeping his nose clean, getting on with it. Seems to be the strategy here as we look at McGee, Alex CDL, and Scooter Sam, who've all been in the wars at some point, just trying to get themselves back into contention a bit, working together a bit just to see if they can salvage something here.
Yes, and so fair play to Scooter Sam, 5th place after a massive crash, but unfortunately it looks like Roger's been disqualified, possibly for entering the pits too fast, as he's down in 12th and has an exited the pits. But back to the race, Noah's talking, the laps have flown by. It's lap 22 of 25, 3 laps to go. Free Gazelle first as Alex gets squeezed out there. Roy just drops back, lets Loopy G go through. Sam up high, looks like he touched the wall because the 2 fastest cars going through. So that's him relegated to 6, and he'll watch these guys just fly off just from touching the wall. It really massively just drops you back, and there's nothing you can do. So the interesting thing is, 2 laps to go now. Stu and Stalker Brown, as you see him now, 2nd, 3rd, working together. Will they be able to catch Free Gazelle in 1st, and will he get his 1st win of the championship? But it's getting closer. They can see him, and that time is dropping straight away. You can just see how well the slipstream works, and you never know, big crash, and that could bring in Alex McGee and Scuderia Sam in. So this is a massive fight as we go into the penultimate lap now. Stu and Stalker Brown really working together, and you can just see how much they're closing on Free Gazelle. It's really looking like it's going to be a nail-biting finish.
It sure is. I mean, almost within a second, and on the closing lap, it's and they're just in sync now. So could be an opportunity for them, as you see. Yeah, they're under the second. They're reeling Free Gazelle rapidly here now. So and then in the background you've got 4th, 5th, and 6th still in play as well. So it could be a photo finish here as we look at that. Stalker Brown coming in and Free Gazelle and Stuart now. It's a 3-way battle for the lead here, so it's all to be decided on the last lap. Yeah, here we go, last lap for the lead. Stalker Brown and Stu really working together. It showed just how close they are. Free Gazelle would be desperate. Oh, they collided. They're together. That's the leaders into the wall. Putting Stu in 1st. He managed to avoid it by going in the infield. The question is now, will Free Gazelle and Stalker Brown be caught up by Alex and Loopy McGee? They're up to 3rd and 4th now. Where is Stu? Stu coming up out of the last corner onto the little left-hander. So the winner of the first oval race is
Stewart followed by Alex. Alex gets second, just beating Stalker Brown, who takes third. So Team Alex Brown gets third and second, and McGee fourth, and Freaks will be kicking himself. Comes home in fifth with Scuderia Sam in sixth place.
Yeah, just a wee unfortunate come together there on the very last lap, but it's opened the door, and Stuart Davis was right in there to take an excellent win by 4 seconds in the end from Alex CDL, who did a great recovery from first lap incident to get on the podium, and Stalker Brown salvaging a bit, having had a few incidents there, salvaging to get himself on the podium, and Nathan G coming in fourth, and Free Gazelle finishing up in fifth. Scuderia Sam in the sixth there, McKev's, Twingo, Sabrosa, and Bogsong in 10th place there to round at the top 10.
Yeah, it really shows you just can't take anything for granted when it comes to ovals. That was last lap, 1 lap to go, and the lead changed and the whole podium changed. But going into driving standards now, it's all changed there as well, with AXCDL leading 70 points from Scuderia Sam 58, who's really fallen back, but he's even with Stuart Davis after his big win at the Oval. Stalker Brown fourth and 42 points. Roger, who unfortunately did get that disqualification, in fifth from Sabrosa, who didn't take part in this one, I don't believe. With Luke McGee seventh, Twingo eighth, Fregas on ninth, who you've gutted after coming fifth after leading so long. Team standards now, Alex Brown jumps up to first place with 112 points from Chief Spin with 96. Third place Scuderia Man with 78. D-Man not entering into this oval, unfortunately, so Scuderia Sam doing it all on his own. Fourth, Loopy Gazelle, some good points there for them with 63 points. Fantastic 50. Crazy Brosen with 6 with 37, and in 7th place Mike Ox Brown Dan, so that's for the 3 special drivers entering, and they're in 7th. So fantastic race there. Head into Indianapolis GP next, and we hope to see you there. Thank you very much for joining us.